children, happy to see you once again. In today's video session, we are going to learn Standard 9th Economics 2nd Unit, Employment in Tamil Nadu and India. Let's move on to the video session.
Unit 2, Employment in India and Tamil Nadu. The basic needs of every human being are food, clothes and shelter. In the present world, one more essential need has to be added in this list. That is employment. To survive in the world, we all need employment to earn money. Those who are engaged in economic activities in whatever capacity, high or low, are called employees. People who employ these workers and pay rewards for their work are called their employers. Labor force of the economy is the number of people in the country who work and also capable of working. We take the age group of 15 to 60 years for the computation of workforce. Persons who are less than 15 years are considered as children, and the persons who have crossed 60 years of age are excluded as they are not physically fit to undertake productive occupation. If larger percentage of population is accounted by children and old age persons, then the progress of the country would be slow as the working force is very small. Besides the small working force, we'll have to maintain larger non-working force for feeding out of the small national product. Now we'll see what is the employment structure in India. The nature of employment in India is multidimensional. Some get employment throughout the year, some others get employed for only a few months in a year. The economy is classified into three sectors: primary or agriculture sector, secondary or industrial sector, tertiary or service sector. Now we'll see what is primary sector. The primary sector of the economy includes any industry involved in the extraction and production of raw materials such as forestry, farming, fishing and mining. Secondary sector. The secondary sector of the economy includes industry that produce a finished usable product or are involved in construction. Tertiary sector. The service sector is the third of the three economic sectors of the three-sector theory. The service sector consists of the production of services instead of end products. Services include attention, advice, access, experience, and attractive labor. The structure of employment. The structure of employment denotes the number of workers engaged in different sectors of the economy. Though the occupational pattern varies from one country to another, one can find in employing countries like India that a large workforce will be engaged in primary sector, while a small proportion in secondary and tertiary sector. Whereas in well-developed countries, the proportion of workforce engaged in agriculture will be very small and the majority of labor force will be in the industrial and tertiary sector. Employment has always featured as an important element of the development policy in India. Employment growth has increased at an average rate of 2% during the past 4 decades since 1972-73. Employment is further divided into two. They are organized and unorganized sectors. What is the organized sector? The organized sector is incorporated with the appropriate authority or government and follow its rules and regulations. In India, employees of central and state governments, banks, railways, insurance, industry, and so on can be called as organized sector. This sector works according to certain rules and regulations given in the law. Organized sector has some formal process and procedures. The employees in this sector are provided with job security and receive higher wages than those of the unorganized sectors. Organized sectors give good salary, fixed working hours, paid holidays and provides medical allowance and insurance also. Second topic, unorganized sector. The unorganized sector of the economy characterized by the household manufacturing activity and small scale industry. Jobs here are low paid and often not regular. Mostly they do not have paid leave, holiday, leave due to sickness and so on. Employment is not secure. When there is no work, people are asked to leave the job. This sector includes a large number of people who are employed on their own, doing small business such as selling on the street, doing repair work and so on. In the unorganized sector, the employment terms are not fixed and regular. They do not enjoy any special benefits or job security. These enterprises are not registered with the government. Next, public sector and private sector. Economic activities are classified into public and private sector based on who owns assets and is responsible for the delivery of services. Now we'll see what is the difference between the public sector and private sector. Public sector is a service motive and private sector it's a profit motive. Public sector, all the assets are owned by the government, whereas private sector, the assets are owned by the individual. In public sector, wages are paid by the government, whereas in private sector, wages are paid by the owner of the private enterprises. Here in this picture, we can see the sectors, how they are classified and what are their subsections. So public sector, then comes local government, central government, nationalized industry. Under private sector, we have unincorporated, incorporated, franchise. Under unincorporated, we have sole trader, partnership. Under incorporated, we have private limited company, public limited company. Now we'll move on to the employment pattern. In recent years, there has been a change in the employment pattern, and this has helped the employees to develop more flexible working pattern among their employees. The trends are increasing self-employment, firms using fewer full-time employees and tending to offer more short-term contracts. There has been a growth in part-time employment. This may be due to lifestyle of the people. Now we'll see what is the employment trend in Tamil Nadu. Agriculture, despite a sharp decline in gross domestic product, continues to be the largest employer in Tamil Nadu. This is because the non-agriculture sector yet to generate enough employment to affect the shift of labor force. Most of the employment growth in Tamil Nadu has been considered by the unorganized and informal sectors. Now let's move on to the recap and evaluation part.